welcome to another video with new stories from Ethiopia, Somalia and Egypt. Firstly, Ethiopia viewers, a three-member UN inquiry commission arrived in Ethiopia today. The commission members held a meeting with Tigray Mekelle, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Ethiopia. The three commission has been tasked with investigation of human rights abuses committed during Tigray conflict. But Ethiopian government today took a new position. While this government was this commission was opposed by Ethiopian government this year and last year, but the commission was allowed to enter Ethiopia. Now when the commission has arrived in Ethiopia, Ethiopian government has released a statement. Tigray government yesterday released a statement about this commission. So what is the new position taken by Ethiopian government about the investigations of this commission? And will this new position be acceptable to Tigray? Second news story is from Egypt. Somalia's president Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud is in Egypt. Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud and Egyptian president Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held a meeting. After that, the two held a joint press briefing. Their GERD was mentioned, Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. What did the two presidents say about GERD? Is Somalia picking sides? Is Somalia standing with Egypt on the issue of GERD? We'll have a look at joint press briefing of the two presidents, especially the portion linked to GERD. Thirdly, we have a new story from Somalia-Ethiopia border, where in the previous video I reported that fighting was underway between Ethiopian government forces and Al-Shabaab fighters. Today, Ethiopian state media shared some information about the second bout of fighting between Al-Shabaab and Ethiopian government forces. In the first bout of escalation, dozens of Al-Shabaab fighters were killed in Afdir zone of Somalia region. Second episode was seen on Somalia-Ethiopia border. What happened? What is Ethiopian government's position? Fourthly, we have a new story from Tigray. More than a month ago, Tigray's Mekelle airport was closed. It was closed by Tigray government. Back then, Tigray government said that it had no fuel to run the airport premises, airport facilities. That is why it decided to close the airport and all flight operations were suspended. And back then, Ethiopian government accused Tigray government that it was obstructing by air aid supplies to Tigray. Has the airport been reopened? It seems the airport has been reopened, but no statement from Tigray government. And lastly, we have a new story from the Amhara region of Ethiopia. Today, Amhara Regional Council held a session, but it wasn't broadcast live. Despite objections from regional council members, this session was not aired live. Why is that speaker did not allow live broadcast of this regional council session? Firstly, viewers, we have a new story from Ethiopia. We know that last year in December, UN Human Rights Council established a commission to investigate human rights abuses committed during a Tigray conflict. Ethiopia and African countries, part of Human Rights Council, opposed the formation of the commission. But most of EU countries and others, they supported the formation of the commission. Voting was held and with majority vote, commission was formed. Then in March this year, funding for this commission was put to vote at UN General Assembly session. Again, Ethiopia opposed the funding, the budget for this commission, but majority of members supported funding for this commission, budget for this commission. So commission was formed. Ethiopia announced that it will not cooperate with this commission, but the commission members have entered Ethiopia. They have arrived in Addis Ababa, and today they held a meeting with Tigray Mekelle, Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister of Ethiopia. You can see 3 commission members with Tigray Mekelle. The meeting took place today. Now, when the commission members have arrived in Ethiopia, Ethiopian government is taking a new position. Today, Ethiopian Communication Ministry released a statement. The ministry says that Ethiopian government, though it opposed the formation of this commission, will cooperate with this commission if the commission builds its investigation on an earlier investigation conducted last year by UN Human Rights Commission and Ethiopian Human Rights Commission. Last year, the 2 commissions, UN Human Rights Commission and Ethiopian Human Rights Commission, both conducted a joint investigation into human rights abuses which happened during a Tigray conflict from November 2020 and June 2021. And the 2 bodies focused on abuses committed in Tigray. That joint investigative report was rejected by Tigray regional government last year. Tigray regional government said that report was biased, and Aksum massacre was not investigated, and Human Rights Commission of Ethiopia was a partial body. It was made part of investigation. No one from Tigray was made part of investigations. That is why Tigray regional government rejected that investigation. Now, Ethiopian government wants this new commission to start investigations after June 2021. Ethiopian government wants this commission to investigate those abuses which were committed after June 2021, means those which were committed in Amhara Afar regions, because after June 2021 mostly fighting happened in Amhara Afar regions. But Tigray regional government yesterday in a statement said that the commission must start its investigations from November 2020 when Tigray war started. So now when the commission members are in Ethiopia, Ethiopian government has taken this new position. What will the commission members do? Will this commission rely on earlier investigation jointly conducted by UN and Ethiopian Rights Commissions, or will it start investigation from November 2020? That remains to be seen. Will the commission members travel to Tigray? I think they will travel to Tigray. Let's see. So far, they are in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. A second news story is from Egypt, viewers. Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, Somalia's president, arrived in Egypt yesterday, and today he held a meeting with Abdul Fattah al-Sisi, Egyptian president. And there, in joint press briefing, GERD was mentioned. Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam being constructed in Benishangul Gumuz region of Ethiopia, and Ethiopia is busy filling the dam for the 3rd time. 3rd filling is underway, and both Sudan and Egypt, they have been opposing these fillings. Egypt wants a binding agreement, legally binding agreement about the filling and operation of the dam. And a few days ago, US President Joe Biden held a meeting with al-Sisi in Saudi Arabia. And there he also urged Ethiopian government that it should negotiate, and unilateral filling of the dam should not be carried out by Ethiopian government. But filling is underway. Egypt is trying to form alliances in Ethiopian neighborhood. So that is why perhaps Somalia's president was invited to Egypt. Egypt sent a special plane for the delegation led by Somalia's president. What did the two leaders say about GERD at the joint press briefing? Al-Sisi claimed in the press briefing, he said, we have agreed unilateral moves should not be made when it comes to implementation of policies regarding trans-boundary rivers, and there is need of a legally binding agreement over GERD. That is what was said by Sisi, Abdul Fattah al-Sisi, Egyptian president. Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud did not say a word on GERD in his talk, but Sisi said that they had agreed. Then Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud after that posted a message, a Twitter message after his meeting with Al-Sisi. Again, he did not make a mention of GERD in his message. He just said that the two leaders discussed bilateral ties to cooperate in health, education, culture, security sectors. No mention of GERD. So, Egypt is trying to project Somalia as an ally against Ethiopia. Somalia will have to be very careful because Somalia is Ethiopian neighbor. Hassan Sheikh remained silent. Will he remain silent or will he speak about issues related to Ethiopia? That remains to be seen. So at least he did not say a word. It means that he remained silent, and what Sisi said, did not deny it. He didn't deny what Sisi said about GERD. But on his part, he remained silent on GERD. What did Hassan Sheikh get out of this visit? We'll update you after the completion of this visit. Thirdly, we have a new story from Somalia-Ethiopia border, where Al-Shabaab has carried out 2 incursions into Ethiopian territories in almost a week. First entry was into Afdir zone of the Somali region of Ethiopia, and second was in Shabelle zone of the Somali region of Ethiopia. In the first offensive, Al-Shabaab suffered losses in Afdir. Somali Special Force fought and it managed to push Al-Shabaab out of most parts of Afdir. Then second incursion was launched in Shabelle. And after the first incursion, we saw a statement from Somali regional government which said that around 100 Al-Shabaab fighters had been killed, and they had been pushed out. They had been killed. Now today, Ethiopian state media issued a statement. It shared videos, messages, pictures about second incursion of Al-Shabaab into Shabelle. Government media says that 85 Al-Shabaab fighters have been killed in Farfar and Al-Qudon. Farfar is in Ethiopia, Somali region of Ethiopia. Al-Qudon is, I think, in Somalia, close to Farfar. It's on border. So on border there was fighting between Ethiopian government forces and Al-Shabaab fighters. I think I discussed it in detail in the previous video. I briefed you on a map what happened there. Government media says, Ethiopian government media, that 85 Al-Shabaab fighters have been killed and 100 were killed in Afdir, and Al-Shabaab has been pushed away from Ethiopian borders. I got in touch with an official of Somali regional government, and I asked him, is any place in the Somali region of Ethiopia under the control of Al-Shabaab? He denied. He said not an inch of Ethiopian territory is under Al-Shabaab control now. But we'll try to verify what he said. I'm sharing what he said. In next videos, we'll try to update you. So far, Ethiopian government said that Al-Shabaab has suffered losses in both these incursions. Now, viewers, Ethiopian forces have entered Somalia, both in southwest regional state of Somalia and in Hirsha Valley state of Somalia. Ethiopian forces, mostly Leo police, Somali region special force, they are in Somalia because from Somali territories attacks are being carried out on Ethiopia. That is why in pursuit of Al-Shabaab fighters, Ethiopian forces have entered Somalia. Fourthly, a new story from Tigray. Around a month ago, Tigray closed its main airport. Mekelle airport was closed. Back then, Ethiopian government accused Tigray regional government that it was obstructing by air aid supplies to Tigray by closing the airport. Tigray said that it was facing shortage of fuel. It had no fuel to run the facilities, the premises of the airport. That is why it had to close the airport. When was this airport reopened? Tigray did not issue any statement, but reportedly the airport has been reopened. It's operational now. Today, Ethiopian state media claimed that World Health Organization has delivered medical equipment, medicines to Tigray by air. 4.8 metric tons of medical aid has been delivered to Tigray. A picture was also shared by Ethiopian state media showing the arrival of this medical aid in Tigray. It means that Mekelle airport is operational. But we did not hear anything from Tigray regional government when the airport was reopened. State media says that in coming days, 20 metric tons of more medical supplies will be delivered to Tigray. So positive development that the airport has been reopened. Now UN humanitarian staff can move between Addis Ababa and Mekelle, and aid supplies to Tigray can by air be sent to. Lastly, viewers, Amhara Regional Council held a meeting today, a session, and it wasn't broadcast live, which was a violation of regulations. Several members of Amhara Regional Council protested. Sega Arage, former head of Ethiopian Anti-Corruption Department, who leveled serious allegations against Prosperity Party leaders a few days ago that they were involved in embezzlements, he spoke against this decision of the Speaker of Amhara Regional Council. He said that according to the rules and regulations, the session must be broadcast live. Why is that Speaker did not broadcast this session live? There is anger, there is resentment against Ethiopian PM Abiy, against federal government in the Amhara region of Ethiopia. We know that when PM Abiy took questions at a parliament session a few days ago, members of parliament from the Amhara region asked very tough questions. And at Amhara Regional Council session, fierce criticism of Ethiopian PM Abiy and federal government was expected. That is why this session was not broadcast live. Thank you for watching.